No, you want me to surprise you?
Yes. No. I'm surprised. Hey everybody, my name is Jacob and you're watching Jacob's Top 10. I'm here with Svenja.
Hey!
Svenja. Today we're going to talk about 10 ways how to handle a relationship successfully. Now a quick disclaimer. We are not relationship experts. We've been in few relationships, but we definitely learned from them. We learned what not to do.
We learned what we like and what we don't like.
So Svenja, what was your last relationship?
My last relationship was shit, and it was when I was 19. I learned a lot from it, so in the end it was a good experience.
You learned from your exes.
Right.
Thank you exes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, then I'll start. Number 1. I think any couple should be friends. True friends. What do you think, Svenja?
Yeah, I would agree.
Now it's important to be friends, but you should also remember that the friend zone is dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want your relationship to be based only on friendship, because you're a couple. So there is always this line between friends and lovers, and if you're good friends with your partner, that line is sometimes a bit blurry. So it is always important to keep a balance.
And I guess once you cross the line, it's way easier because you already have things in common, you know each other as friends, and this is a good base to start a relationship.
Yeah.
Even if the crossing the line could be kind of confusing for each of you, but in the end it's a good way.
Now you have.
Okay.
Say this, so the second thing is.
Okay. So now to the second aspect. No.
It's not the math class.
I want to say like my first advice would be that imagine you are in a relationship and you're happy, but you will fight at one point. It will get ugly, but for me, worst thing to do is to discuss things via WhatsApp. The worst thing you can do, because the other person will get everything wrong. So in the end, you will have a lot of misunderstandings. And you will at one point maybe lose the reason why you started the fight, because this whole WhatsApp thing, it's shit. So if your partner starts to make up a fight over WhatsApp, just say to him, okay, babe, I know you're angry or whatever, but can you call me? I mean, to talk over the phone, maybe it's also not the best way, but at least it's way better than to write and to do the WhatsApp thing. And yeah, if it's possible, you should meet up.
Yeah, face to face. That's important.
The best way.
Because then you calm yourself down a bit. So no text, face to face. There's no way to escape that way. My next way to handle a relationship is humor. It's very important to have a sense of humor, in generally, but especially in relationships. So if you're friends with your partner, you must have your own common language. And when you're in a fight sometimes, your common humor helps break that tension. It also makes the relationship happy. And once I've been in a really sad relationship, meaning that person didn't have much of a sense of humor. It was awful. Svenja, were you ever in a relationship with a person with no sense of humor?
If I get together with a person, humor is the nearly most important thing for me. But the only thing I had one time, we had kind of the same sense of humor, but he was ashamed to show it in public. He always wanted to play the cool guy when we were outside, so...
So how was it different from the outside to when you were together?
For example, we were in a cafe or in a bar, and then I have a really strange sense of humor sometimes. I laugh about really silly things, and most of the times about myself, but yeah, he was more embarrassed when I did something. For example, something fell down. I wanted to laugh, but he was like...
Was he PC?
PC? What's that?
It means politically correct.
No, he was just an asshole.
Okay. That's a different kind of PC. He was PC.
So my second advice is also about when you fight. This is something that helped me a lot of times. When you are mad at each other and each of you is stubborn, no one wants to make the first step, then you just should take a minute and think about how would life be without this person. And when you come to the realization that it's worth it and you don't want to live without the person, I think most of the times it's way easier to deal with it and to make it work again.
So what you're basically saying is when you're in a fight with a person, you think about losing him and you realize it's a terrible thought. So maybe it's better to calm things down.
And it also helps a lot when you're very stubborn,
Oh yeah.
as I am.
I don't see you as stubborn.
Not with friends.
How are you stubborn, Svenja? Give me an example.
In a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay, I did something wrong, and I don't want to accept I'm wrong, so I start to bring up things that he did wrong, and then we end up fighting. It's ridiculous, I know, but that's how I am.
So no matter how long you've been with a person, it always helps to go on a trip. Go in nature, go to see a city, row a boat in a lake. Whatever it is, you should do it. Take a Saturday and just go on a trip. My best memories with my partners are on trips. We have a ton of private jokes from that. Now when you're with a person for a long time, things can get pretty boring, pretty mundane. It really helps to break the routine. And if you're during a rough time in your relationship, these kind of things that break the norm, they help. They give you a better perspective. Now also it will make your bond even stronger.
So, go on an adventure.
So another thing you should know is that not every fight is the end of the world. Sometimes the fight between you and your partner can be very aggressive, very vocal, very intense. And a lot of the time it escalates to the point where you literally hate each other. What I would recommend is to take 5. Go your separate ways. Don't talk to each other, don't acknowledge each other, calm your ass down, and then go back. You will see things differently. Because people get sometimes overheated. But then we need to just cool down. It helps.
Yeah, for me it's definitely the same. Sometimes you just need 5 minutes for yourself, calm down, and then maybe just leave the room. Sometimes it helps. Come back, get some positive energy, and then just talk about it.
Or don't talk about it. I mean,
Whatever.
sometimes it just goes away naturally on its own.
Depends on the fight.
Yeah. Usually the fights you have with your partner is not that serious. It's just about the laundry, complaining.
I never had a fight about laundry.
I'm sorry, Svenja. Never had a fight about laundry.
No.
Oh, Lord.
Why would I?
Because laundry get piled up and it smells. I don't know.
So the next thing I want to bring up is something that me personally helped a lot of times and makes every relationship better. Surprises! And when I say surprises, I don't mean expensive material things. It could also be something really small, like when you're together for a longer time, you know each other and you know what makes your partner happy. For example, what makes me happy every time is food. So when someone comes to me and brings my favorite food, I'm always happy. And the thing is, when you don't expect it, it's way better and you share something. It could also be, I don't know, sometimes my boyfriend brings me a flower, which is, I know it's very kitschy, what do you say?
Kitschy.
I know.
Cheesy.
Okay. And I know it's really cheesy, but in the bottom of my heart, I like it, I don't know why. And yeah, it's a surprise, it's something nice.
But you won't reject like a material thing.
Reject?
Yeah, like diamond earrings. Here you go, Svenja.
No, this is something that I wouldn't take them. It's not about the expensive thing.
Are you telling me you don't want my diamond earrings?
No.
I bought you diamond earrings.
You can take them back if you want.
You can just sell them. Okay.
The thing is, you just get to know your partner better the longer you stay together, and then you will find out what will surprise them in a good way or maybe in a bad way.
Another thing you can do to surprise your partner is to hide in a closet with a knife covered in pig's blood. And then when he comes from the door, then you jump out of the closet and you're like, bah! And then he's like, oh my god. And he's surprised.
Are you serious?
Yes. I would love if my
Really?
spouse
You're
would
psycho.
jump out of the closet
No.
with a knife covered in blood.
This is psycho.
No.
I don't want you to surprise me with a knife. Anyway.
Do we have a knife?
The knife in the kitchen.
Yes.
Should I get it?
No, I'll get it.
Okay. What should I do?
I present you now with this knife. It should be your knife.
No, you want me to surprise you?
Yes. No. I'm surprised. No, surprise me with the knife.
So, do you know that I'm there already? Or you don't?
I don't.
I'm in the closet?
Yes.
Why are you laughing? No, it was
I'm
your
just-
idea. Why should I? No.
Surprise me with the knife.
How? It's nothing surprising about a knife. I told you I would
if
like
you
it,
don't
so show me-
expect a knife, you will be surprised by a knife. I feel like I'm talking to a crazy person.
You are the crazy person.
Okay, let's drop it. Oh my god, that's fucking scary. Now, the best way to handle a relationship is always make up sex. You're gonna have a fight at some point. You know it. Best way to deal with it is to have sex later. After you're having a fight, you're angry. You have a lot of emotions. Best way to handle those emotions is through action. The best option is
Sex. No, do it again.
sex. You need to make sex. Come on.
Do it again.
And the best option is
Having sex.
after a fight, you had sex, you kind of forget what the fight was about. It helps to clear your mind.
Yeah, I totally agree with it. And it's so simple, come on. It's something you always do and you can end a fight, so just, it's a good solution.
It's a good solution mainly because after you're having a fight, you have this awkward moments or awkward sometimes days where you're like trying to be again nice to each other or trying to
And you don't know if you should act like nothing happened or
just break the ice by having sex. That's good.
break the ice.
Yeah, things are.
Break. I thought ice.
Yes, break your eyes.
Break your ice. It will happen. Another way for me to handle a relationship is to not take the things your partner does or your partner himself for granted.
So give me an example how your partner takes you for granted.
He does not.
Okay.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. Do you sometimes take him for granted?
Sometimes I do, and I know it's not good. So always try to treat your partner like you want to be treated.
Yeah, definitely. I can tell that with my ex, I used to pick fights on really small things, really insignificant things. It wasn't worth it. But because he was there and I was a bit upset at times, I kind of took it out on him, which is like taking him for granted.
Yeah.
And that's not good, especially if it's someone you really, really love. Anytime I do that now, I kind of catch myself at that point and I immediately think, just don't do it.
Yeah. The first thing you need to do before you can change something is just realize that you did something wrong and acknowledge it. The last thing to do is cook for each other.
You can cook pasta,
You can also make pizza together,
anything with carbs.
so you get fat together.
Fat together and forever. You wanna be fat with me, Svenja?
Sure. Let's get some pasta. Oh, we have the cake already.
We literally have here cake. Show the
Good
cake.
beginning.
This was a cake. Now it's a piece of cake.
We also could bake cake together.
Oh yeah, baking.
Could be really sexy. Okay.
You know what? I don't have this fetish with food.
You know?
No.
No, it's not. Maybe I have.
And there you guys go. I hope this was helpful. Thank you, Svenja, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. If you like this video, stay around my channel, watch some other videos, and maybe someday Svenja will have a YouTube channel.
Maybe.
What is your way to handle relationships successfully? Please leave that in the comments below. Tell me what you think about Svenja. Judge her, and take a deep breath and take care.